Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. And tonight we are talking about recession whiskies or budget-friendly whiskies. And of course, if you have to look at the definition, which apparently has changed during the last couple of months. But things are not looking good with regards to whiskey. Well, in life in general, everything goes up. And I've got an interesting bit of information from one of my subscribers, Perth Luxury, thank you very much. And that made me think, what do I have on my bar that is still affordable? So I came up with a short list for tonight's budget-friendly or recession-proof whiskey. Now, just to give you a little bit of an indication, he did send me a list, and I've got the list over here. He did send me a list of what's happening in Australia over the last 24 months. And he sent me this list with prices that he paid in the last 2 years compared to what it's now. And I think it's quite shocking. Erin 21 went from 250 Australian dollars and up to 400 Australian dollars now. The Erin 18 went from 200 to $300. The Glen Scotia 15 went up from 115 to 125, so not really that bad. Then you have the Talisker 10, which is one of the ones that didn't go up much, 80 to 95, so not a problem with that one. Then you have the Talisker 18 from 165 to 200 Australian dollars. Then there's a little bit of a shocker of the Talisker 25. It went from 425 Australian dollars to $700. You have the Talisker 30-year-old, went from 700 Australian dollars to $1,500. Glen Scotia 25 went from $500 to 1,000 Australian dollars. Then you also have the Springbank, and I was quite a surprised with the Springbank. It went from 150 to 200. That was a 12-year-old cask strength. And the Springbank 18 went from 270 to 380 Australian dollars. So a big price jump, and I think that is a story that we see all over the world. Whiskey prices are getting crazy. As an example, I did buy this Jameson. This is a single malt Japanese whiskey, Distiller's Reserve. I paid $75 for this one about three and a half months ago. You can find it here online here in Belgium, and I see prices for up to 150 euros for this bottle, which I think is quite ridiculous. But obviously people are selling it, so as long as we keep on buying it, they will keep on pushing the prices up. So I created a short list of some of the whiskies that I have here on my shelves. And just to give you an idea that there is some whiskies that you can trust at a reasonable price. And I'm going to start off with a little bit of a sample bottle that I still have. And this is the Peaky Blinder. This is an Irish whiskey bottled at 40% ABV from the Sadler's Distillery. I kind of enjoy it. Nothing special. 19 euros for a full bottle. So that's something that I think is quite affordable. And maybe I can just give it a quick pour. Luckily I have enough glasses here just to make sure that it is still drinkable. So the Peaky Blinder, 40%, so nothing special, chill filtration, probably some color added. But it is really nice, light, friendly on the nose. It's a fruity element, like apple cider coming out. There's a sweetness, a vanilla's coming out. A hint of a toffee note coming out. Very nice on the nose. Quite like this one at 19 euros for a bottle. You cannot go wrong. Also fantastic in a little bit of a cocktail. Also fantastic, a little bit of a ice cream when you make yourself a nice Don Pedro. So quite a versatile one. It's a drink for the summertime. Let me just give it a quick taste. Very little oak, sweetness, toffee, apple, and a little bit of a caramel note, a vanilla note coming out. Very light, friendly, very drinkable. 19 euros for a bottle. Cannot go wrong with this one. So the next one that I do have is the Jack Daniel's number 7. Just moving down to the Americas to give them also an opportunity. 40% ABV, the Tennessee whiskey. It is relatively cheap. That is, I think, the second highest value one that I picked from my list. This one will cost you between 25 to 29 euros for a full bottle. So still quite affordable and quite drinkable. In the beginning, I did not like it years and years and years ago when I was still a young lad. A lot of the people that I know was drinking Jack Daniel's and Red Bull. Gives you wings. So this is actually, I bought this quite a while, so I'm gonna just to give it a quick taste. I did review it some time ago. Quite liked it. Let me see tonight. Oh, it is so different from a Scotch whiskey. Immediately that the nose is absolutely different, the sweetness. This one is a little perfumey note, that little corn note coming out. A little butterscotch, vanilla's coming out. Quite strong actually, but also it's quite hot today. And a little bit of the youthfulness that I get, a little bit of a nail polish remover type of nose, but not unpleasant on the taste. It's just drinkable. It's something that also loves the summertime. Fantastic in cocktails as well, but I like it neat like this. Different flavors, especially for people that are not used to bourbons, Scotch drinkers. Sometimes you need a little bit of time to get used to the taste of bourbon, but I do like this one. Elijah Craig and some of the other ones, Buffalo Trace, lots similar to that, but quite drinkable. And now I get a little bit of an orange sherbet note coming out. Quite nice. So definitely worth picking up for under 30 euros for the bottle. And I need to put the glass down because I can't stop drinking it. The next one on the list is also coming in at 19 euros for a full bottle. This is a Belgium whiskey, and it is the Goldless Reserve Belgium grain whiskey, bottled at 40% ABV, and quite an interesting one. 19 euros for the bottle. Not much color added to this one, and of course there's a little bit of a chill filtration. So I do like this one. So I bought this one actually quite a long time ago. I did leave it in the cupboard, didn't spend much time with it. I did share it with some friends as well, to give them also an opportunity to try something cheap. Most of my friends have expensive tastes and expensive whiskey, so sometimes it's nice to bring them down to earth, to give them a nice cheap one. And it is just also light, fruity, a little bit of a citrus note coming out, but also vanilla's coming out. Nothing complex. The youthfulness is there, but I think that even also toned down after some time in the bottle. It's been probably 6, 7, 8 months old. Very light. Maybe the least favorite one on this selection or list. But taste-wise, it's just drinkable. You can drink it like water. A hint of a nutty note coming out now. Let me just give it one more try. a sweet nutty note, a little bit of a pecan pie note coming out, a little bit of almonds, a toasted almonds, or maybe a toasted nut, or maybe a toasted walnut coming in. Absolutely fantastic. For 19 euros, cannot go wrong. The next one on my list is going to be the Jameson, 25 euros for a full bottle, and we have quite a little bit of a range, so that you have the normal triple distill Jameson, Irish whiskey, 40% ABV, and quite light, friendly on the nose. But this was part of a set, and as part of the set I also got the Cask Mates, the stout edition. I do like the stout edition, and also I got the IPA edition. All three of them normally are available for under 30 euros for the bottle, so I think that is quite a affordable dram. I do like the stout the most, and I just want to give that a quick taste just to make sure that I'm still enjoy it. Nice little bit of a color to it. That is nice. Not that much of that stout. So, in the beginning when I just bought it, it was a little bit more stoutiness in it, a little bit more that bitter notes coming in. But now it's really nice, friendly, light, drinkable, sweet, toffee apples, a little bit of a caramel note coming in. There's a little bit of a theme in the cheap whiskies. I think you picked it up. That same type of nosing notes coming out. So none of them are complex. None of them are super intense. But I think when you look at the recession, you look at the budget and you think to yourself, I just took my poor little dog into the veterinarian for kidney stones, 2,000 euros later. So the recession is hitting everybody. So I need to cut a little bit on the budget. But this is really nice. For me, I think this one is one of the best ones on the budget whiskey side. That's so nice. This one and the IPA, I think for me is the better option. I do like the triple distill normal one. This one I haven't even opened up yet. Maybe I will do that sometime, but I did have samples on that one to review. So if you want to check out the review on all these whiskies, they are available. Just go do a little bit of a search on my homepage. This one I do like. Stout edition for me is the best option in the budget range. Then the last one that I had to put in, and I was not sure if I was going to add it in. Of course, the most expensive one that was in Belgium, it's 30 euros for a bottle. And I'm talking about the only age statement whiskey, Johnny Walker Black Label, 40% ABV, 12 years old. And I think that is a bargain. 12 years old. It is, of course, a blended Scotch whiskey. And but I do like the idea of it. 30 euros. When the going gets tough, when sometimes you have to lower the standards. A lot of people don't like it. In the beginning, years and years ago, that was my go-to whiskey. The day that I can afford it, that was not always possible. But lately, since moving to Belgium, the world has opened up. There's so much whiskeys to try. So I've broadened the horizons. If I really have to, I might consider drinking it. But of course, when the budget tells you no, you cannot afford that 100 euro bottles anymore, I think this is something that I will definitely consider. Between the Black Label, I think the prices is almost the same as the Jameson, but if you will want a little bit of an age statement to it, of course, take the 12-year-old. And if you are not worried about the age statement and you want something that's really drinkable, look at the Irish whiskey, the Jamesons. Have a look at the IPA, have a look at the stout Cosmate, and you decide which ones you want. So that is me on a little bit on my recession budget drink. I'm sure there is so many other whiskies available that is going to be maybe a little bit of cheaper whiskey. I'm not so sure if I want to taste something that's less than 15 euro, but I'm sure there is a lot. So I would like you to make a comment. Tell me, what budget whiskey would you recommend? Something that is just ridiculously cheap, but it's really drinkable, that's nice, even if it's only in a cocktail. Let me know. I will see if I can maybe source that whiskey as well, and do maybe a short series on budget whiskies. I'm 100% sure I'm not the only one that are feeling the pinch, feeling the recession, and feeling the prices going up and up and up, and you keep on paying more and more for whiskies. And sometimes I blame that YouTubers with that huge channels that keeps on telling that this is the whiskey to buy, and 2 days later the prices go up by 20%. Definitely not me. Well, not yet. Channel is way too small to make an influence. So that's me on the short little budget rant. And let me know what you think, and I see you next time. Cheers.